As a Christian, should I tattoo my body? Yes or no? We have to look at what tattoo is all about first. Where did it come from? Who are the originators of it? All right. Let me welcome you to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. We are family here. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now, tattoos are a form of body modification where ink is inserted into the dermis layer of the skin to create designs, words, or images. It dates back to ancient Egypt, with evidence of tattoos found on mummies from as early as 2000 BCE. These tattoos were often symbolic and could denote status, religious beliefs, or personal attributes. The word tattoo itself is believed to have originated from the Polynesian word tatau. In ancient Roman and Greek societies, tattoos were often used as a form of punishment and social stigmatization. Criminals and slaves were marked with tattoos to denote their status and crimes. These tattoos were typically placed on visible parts of the body, such as the face, arms, or hands, to serve as a permanent record of their misdeeds and for the slaves to ensure they were easily identified as someone's property. This practice was intended to shame and deter them from committing further offenses, as well as to warn others of their transgressions. Unlike in some other cultures where tattoos held symbolic or decorative meanings, in Roman and Greek societies, tattoos carried a strong negative connotation and were a tool of control and humiliation. Over the centuries, tattooing has evolved and spread across various cultures, transforming into a widespread form of personal expression in modern times. Currently, approximately 29% of U.S. adults have at least one tattoo. This increasing prevalence can be attributed to a historical fact that human beings have consistently sought to modify their natural appearance through various means, including plastic surgery, tattooing, piercings, scarification, cosmetic enhancements, body shaping, bizarre haircuts, extreme nail fixing, among others. It has even gotten so bad that human beings are now changing their gender. This ongoing quest for change reflects a broader desire to alter and enhance our physical forms beyond what God created us with. People are just unhappy with their God-given bodies. As Christians, we believe that God created our bodies from the dust. Jesus came to heal our bodies, and the Holy Spirit dwells within us. Our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we have faith that God will one day resurrect our bodies. Leviticus 19:28 states, "You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." In ancient times, cultures of the Near East, including the Canaanites, practiced self-cutting to mourn the dead. This was also observed in other ancient cultures, where self-mutilation was part of mourning rituals or religious ceremonies. For instance, the Egyptians practiced tattooing, particularly among women, for purposes related to fertility and protection during childbirth. In that era, it was common to mark the body as part of mourning, unlike today's practices of wearing black and attending funerals. God commanded the Israelites not to adopt these practices when entering the new land. He said, "I am the Lord," emphasizing his authority and the distinctiveness he required of his people. God wasn't entirely against making incisions or cuts into the body, as circumcision, a cutting of the skin, was a sign of the covenant between God and Israel. However, the prohibition in Leviticus against tattoos and self-cutting had deeper implications, reflecting the practices of the surrounding pagan cultures, which included more brutal forms of body marking, such as branding, slashing, and gashing. In 1 Kings 18:28, we see an example of the priests of Baal cutting themselves to invoke their god during the contest with Elijah, sponsored by Ahab and Jezebel. God wanted the Israelites to avoid such practices and live differently. the New Testament does not specifically address tattoos or body art. Some argue that the silence indicates approval, but this is a weak argument. Paul offers a general principle in 1 Corinthians 10:23. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. This suggests that while some practices might not be inherently wrong, they might not be wise or beneficial, nor do they necessarily glorify God. Some point to Revelation 19:16, where it says, "On his robe and on his thigh, he has this name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords," as evidence that Jesus had a tattoo. However, this doesn't conclusively prove that it was a tattoo, and even if it were, it wouldn't justify Christians getting tattoos. Revelation 22:3-4 says, "No longer will there be any curse. The throne of God and of the Lamb will be in the city, and his servants will serve him. They will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads." Again, it is unclear if this will be inked, embedded, or symbolic. It's important to be cautious, as tattoos involve piercing and cutting the skin, which has pagan and spiritual associations. Some cultures and religions use body inking as part of occult practices. Tattoos depicting dragons, snakes, or other symbols associated with darkness and sin can potentially open doors to demonic influence. While not every person with a tattoo is demon-possessed, tattoos can be an entry point for demonic activity. Here are 5 reasons to consider if you're a Christian thinking about getting a tattoo. Number 1, what's your motive? Many people get tattoos out of rebellion against parents, church, or other authorities. If your motive is rebellion, your attitude is sinful. For example, if your family or church holds strong views against tattoos and you get one anyway, you are acting in rebellion. God looks at your heart and your motives. Even if you're not seeking to connect with pagan practices, your rebellious attitude can make the act sinful. Additionally, if you have a spouse who is against it and you get a tattoo behind their back, this creates further problems. Number 2, what will people think? We need to be mindful of others' perceptions. The Bible instructs us in 1 Corinthians 10:32-33 to avoid causing others to stumble. Do not cause anyone to stumble, whether Jews, Greeks, or the Church of God, even as I try to please everyone in every way. For I am not seeking my own good, but the good of many, so that they may be saved. Our actions can affect others, and we have a responsibility to consider how our choices might impact their faith. Number 3, is this the best use of my money? Tattoos can be expensive, often costing hundreds or even thousands of dollars. As Christians, we are called to be good stewards of our finances. If you have significant debt or financial obligations, spending money on a tattoo may not be wise. Even if you are financially secure, consider if this is the best use of your resources. Number 4, will I regret this in the future? Many people regret their tattoos, especially if they got them at a young age. Trends change, and what seems fashionable now might not be in the future. A significant percentage of people regret their tattoos later on. Unlike a shirt or a haircut, tattoos are permanent. Think carefully about whether you might regret your decision down the road. Number 5, what kind of testimony am I sharing? The Bible calls us to be the light, the salt, and letters read by others. Our actions should lead people to glorify God. Consider what kind of message your tattoo might send. As Christians, our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we should honor God with them in all we do. Before getting a tattoo, reflect on your motives, the impact on others, your financial stewardship, potential future regrets, and the testimony you are sharing. Seek to glorify God in every aspect of your life, including how you treat and present your body. If you liked this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching.